Purpose isn't reserved for a chosen few. It awakens the moment you decide to answer your own call. This show is about inspiring you and helping you to remember that you also have a purpose.
Hello, my name is Maytte Dusseau, and I am so excited to be here with you. So I started this YouTube channel because I wanted to do some impact interviews and really help people to understand that they can have a purpose and they can have a gift inside of themselves and go out there and change the world. And I wanted to showcase people in my community and globally at some point that are doing just that for whatever reason. And everybody does have a reason. They have decided that they want to have an impact, and they're doing that within our Tampa Bay community. And it's really, really exciting. Now, this particular episode, which is called Dear Maytte, and I used to read the column Dear Abby, and I always loved reading that column. I just like the fact that people would send in their questions, and Dear Abby just had such a great perspective around manners, around the right thing to do, and always gave people another way of looking at the situation. And so I just always had this little desire to do something similar. So these Dear Maytte episodes are my attempt to provide you a little bit of my perspective. And so I wanted to start by sharing with you a little bit of what I believe to be true. And in sharing with you some of the things that have been part of my life, it'll give you a context for my perspective and the things that I think about in terms of the coaching that I do and my experience with people, because these tenets or these beliefs that I have, that they are who I am. And so when I am in communication, interacting with people, then usually they come out. So let's get started by probably the most important one is that I believe that everything happens for a reason, and it happens for my highest good. Now, I know that sometimes people don't want to believe that, but that's just been my experience. And at the time that something happens, I don't necessarily know what the reason is for that, but I do know that everything happens for a reason. And it has been one of those beliefs that has helped me to really deal with some really significant and pretty traumatic experiences in my life. And, at some point, I'll share some of those with you. Now, I also believe that we are spiritual beings and we're here having a human experience. And so we are connected to Source. We are a part of Source. At times, I think, I am the creator because the part of me that is consciousness, that is the observer of my thoughts and my feelings, and is what will continue after I leave this human experience. That is energy, and that is connected to infinite intelligence, source, creator, universe, whatever you decide that is for you. For me, I've vacillated between thinking about that consciousness in terms of the universe. I've thought about it in terms of source, infinite intelligence, and lately I'm gravitating toward creator of all that is or divine beloved. Those are sort of my ones recently. And I believe that we came here to this adventure, this 3D adventure, to grow and expand. And what I mean by that is that, a fish was created to swim, seed was created to grow into, and we came here to grow and expand and have this beautiful experience of checking out all of these preferences. And in that understanding, we get to experience it all. And while we're here, we're in this duality state where there's good and bad, hot and cold, like all of that is present in our 3D environment, where I think that when we're not in this 3D and we're connected to that consciousness, there is no duality, there is no separation. We all came here with a gift and a purpose. And because there's nobody else on this planet like us, we are unique. And that gift that we bring to the world is also very unique. I also believe that we are powerful beings, and that is kind of like my spiritual vision, which is I'm passionate about helping people to understand how powerful they are, that they are always creating their reality, whether they're doing it intentionally or by default. So I believe that we can be, do, or have whatever it is that we want because we're that powerful. And we can, well, at some point we can talk about like what gets in the way of us being able to do that. I also believe that we were perfectly created. Like, think about the fact that we have all of these processes within our bodies that happen like naturally. We don't have to think about breathing. We don't have to think about our digestion. Our heart pumps blood, and like the whole system is so perfectly created, and it was created for us to be in a state of well-being. So anytime that we are not feeling good is because we are out of harmony and we are in dis-ease. So that's one of the things that I believe. I also believe that our goal is to feel good, or to be in a powerful state, to have our nervous system regulated so that we're in joy and appreciation and happiness and feeling love. Like, that is our birthright. Our birthright is one of abundance and well-being and just all of that goodness. Like, that's what we're supposed to be about. And again, this game called life has this programming and these things that happen that help us to forget that. And so the more that we can remember that we were created to have a beautiful life, the more that we can tune into that infinite intelligence or creative all that is and feel guided in each moment. I believe that the connections that we make are extremely powerful, and they are made to continue to expand this experience. And so for me, it's really important to surround myself by people who are like-minded, people who have a growth mindset, people who are working on themselves and are on a spiritual path. You know, they say that we are the average of the 5 people that we hang out with the most. So I'm always curious, like, who are those 5 people for you? And are they lifting you up or are they bringing you down? I also believe that each one of us is on our own journey. And because we're on our own journey, that's always helped me to practice non-judgment, because I never know what somebody else's path has been. And I certainly have not walked in your shoes. So who am I to judge what you're going through? By the same token, I also believe that it's so important to lead with kindness and love because of that. And I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt. Um, it's just so important because, again, we don't know what somebody else's path has been, and who are we to judge? Oh my goodness. And I think I've said this a little bit before, but we're all worthy of having an extraordinary life. That's what we came here to do. It is our birthright. And, you know, a big part of manifestation is the knowing of that so that we can tune into that reality. You know, as you know, we're in a quantum field and there are all sorts of timelines that are lined up out there for us. And our job is to tune into the frequency of the timeline that we want to have in this moment. And I just will share with you that I have a son. He's 25. He's going to be 26 this year. So he has an interesting birthday because whenever his birthday is within the year, it's in July, he's the same year he is the same age as the year that we are in. And I believe that having had my son Max was the most amazing gift that I have ever received. He is my greatest joy, my greatest accomplishment. I just love that boy. We talked about what my passion is, and it's really important to me to help people to really understand that idea that they're creating their reality. I'm very passionate about that because I believe that when each one of us, becomes the best version of ourselves and we tap into the light that we inherently are, then when we shine our light brightly, we are an example for others to also shine their light. And the more that we can shine a light, then we just raise consciousness. And that's just really important in terms of us creating a new earth and for our experience here on earth to be one of beauty and harmony and community and helping each other out and just creating a beautiful world. And I believe that we are in an abundant universe. Like, there's no competition, there's no need to compare. There's just more than enough for all of us. And when we come from that perspective and that frequency, from a law of attraction perspective, we're just putting out into the world more of what we're going to receive. And that leads me to the last one that I want to share with you, which is that I believe gratitude is one of the most powerful things that we can do. Right now, we're reading The Magic. It's a great book by Rhonda Byrne, and it's a 28-day practice on how to practice gratitude on a daily basis. And that book changed my life the first time I read it because I really there's so much to be grateful for. And again, from a law of attraction perspective, what we put out there, what we focus our attention on, we will get more of. It's a universal law. And as long as we are not getting in the way of that, the more that we can be in a high vibration. And gratitude is a very high vibration state. It just makes all the difference. So I wanted you to have a little information about who I am and what's important to me so that you have a context for the rest of these episodes. And I just want to say that if you have a question that has been sort of, in the back of your head that you would like to have a perspective on, or maybe, I will always invite you from a perspective of this is what you could do. You are a sovereign being, you have free will, and you can decide what works for you. So like lots of creators talk about, this is my message. Use discernment. What fits, what feels right, what resonates, you keep, and what doesn't, throw it out. So if you have a question, please drop me a comment below. I would love to answer any questions that you might have. I bring a perspective that's spirituality, neuroscience, behavior psychology, all wrapped up in one to help you live your best life. Thanks. Thank you for being here today. I hope this conversation reminds you that your presence, your gifts, and your purpose really matter, that you can create meaningful impact. If you want to continue to be supported and inspired, please make sure to follow this channel and tune in each week as we continue to explore what happens when you live intentionally and from your highest truth. Until then, my name is Maytte Dusseau. Go out there and inspire your best life, and remember that the world needs